Welcome to Authors in Your Pocket, a literary show brought to you by Tricom Podcast. Today's show is an exclusive pod excerpt featuring the New York Times bestselling author Carl Weber, reading from his latest novel, Something on the Side, published by Defina Books, an imprint of Kensington Publishing. We're pleased to have Carl Weber read one of his favorite passages from Something on the Side.
I love my life. I love my life. I love my marriage. I love my husband. I love my kids. I love my BMW, and I love my house. Oh, did I say I love my life? Well, if I didn't, I love my life. I really love my life. I stepped out of my BMW X5, then opened the back door and picked up 4 trays of food lying on a towel in the back seat. I only had 20 minutes before the girls would be over for our book club meeting. But I'd already dropped off my 2 kids, Michael and Lisa, at the sitter, so they weren't going to be a problem. Now all I had to do was arrange the food and get my husband out of the house. The food was easy thanks to Poor Freddy's Rib Shack over on Linden Boulevard in South Jamaica. All I had to do was remove the tops of the trays of ribs, collard greens, candied yams, and macaroni and cheese. Pull out a couple of bottles of wine from the fridge, and voila, dinner is served. My husband was another thing entirely. He was going to need my personal attention before he left. I entered my house and placed the food on the island in the kitchen, then looked around the room with admiration. We'd been living in our Jamaica Estates home for more than a year now. Still couldn't believe how beautiful it was. My kitchen had black and granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and handcrafted cherry wood cabinets. It looked like something out of one of those home remodeling magazines, and so did the rest of our house. By the way, did I say I love my life? God, do I love my life, and the man who provides it for me. Speaking of the man who provides it for me, I headed down the hall to the room we called our den. This room was my husband's sanctuary, mainly because of the 52-inch plasma television hanging on the wall and the 900-some-odd channels DirecTV provided. I walked into the den, and there he was, the love of my life, my husband, Tim. By most women's standards, Tim wasn't all that on the outside. He was short and skinny, only 5'8", 140 pounds, with a dark brown complexion. Don't get me wrong, my husband wasn't a bad-looking man. He just wasn't the type of man that would stop a sister dead in her tracks when he walked by. To truly see Tim's beauty, you'd have to look within him, because his beauty was his intellect, his courteousness, and his uncanny ability to make people feel good about themselves. Tim was just a very special man with a magnetic personality, and it only took a few minutes in his presence for everyone who'd ever met him to see it. Tim smiled as he stood up to greet me. "Hey, sexy," he whispered, staring at me as if I was a celebrity and he was starstruck. "Damn, baby, your hair looks great." I blushed, swaying my head from side to side to show off my new $350 weave. I walked further into the room. When I was close enough, Tim wrapped his arms around me and gave my full-figured waist a squeeze. Our lips met, and a warm sensation flooded my body as his tongue entered my mouth. Just like the first time we'd ever kissed, my body felt like it was melting in his arms. I loved the way Tim kissed me. His kisses always made me feel wanted. When Tim kissed me, I felt like I was the sexiest woman on the planet. We broke our kiss. Tim glanced at his watch. "Baby, I could kiss you all night. But if I'm not mistaken, your book club meeting is getting ready to start, isn't it?" I sighed to show my annoyance, and then nodded my head. "Yeah, they'll be here in about 10 minutes. Well, I better get out of here then. You girls don't need me around getting in your hair. My virgin ears might overhear something that they're not supposed to, and the next thing you know, I'll be traumatized for the rest of my life. You wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?" He chuckled. "Hell no, not if you put it that way, because, honey, I am not going to raise 2 kids by myself, so you need to make yourself a plate and get the heck out of here."
Something on the Side is published by Defina Books and an imprint of Kensington Publishing, and will be available on January 29th wherever books are sold. Learn more about Carl Weber by visiting www.carlweber.net. If you'd like to know more about our show, please visit us at www.authorsinyourpocket.com or www.tricompodcast.com. Thanks for listening. I'm Waleed Muhammad with Tricom Podcast, dedicated to putting authors in your pocket.